But there is a guy who was on the Vikings that I know you have a connection to. I know you've mentioned this before, but I would love to hear the whole story again. Uh,
Okay.
what is your connection with Case Keenum,
You mean the goat?
the goat,
Yeah,
2017 goat?
yeah, that's correct. The NCAA all-time leader in passing, Case Keenum. Um, so Case is he graduated of the University of Houston, as am I. And when you're in college, and you root for players that are for your college team, especially at the same time you are, because you're peers, right? You're essentially peers with this person in a lot of ways. It means something different. And with him, he was our guy, right? And he was breaking all these records. He was proving himself to be the best player in college football, even though he did not get that recognition. But to us, he was, and he was the reason why we were doing all the things that we are doing positively in the football field. I remember watching him in the spring game because I'm a little older than him. So I remember watching him spring game before his freshman year, and he wasn't even the starter. So another guy was Blake Joseph. Shout out to Blake Joseph. And but at the spring game, I was like, nah, this number 7, he is it. He makes plays. That's what he does. Like he's going out there scrambling, throwing stuff, weird angles, kind of sidearming stuff, just completing passes, moving the stuff. Like I was like, and the offense had a quick beat about it. I was like, nah, this kid is it. And then we tried the whole, which I hate, the whole 2 quarterback thing for a little bit that year. And I remember because we played Oregon, and this is an infamous game because this is, I don't know if you remember this or if you've seen clips of it. You've not probably seen like social media clips of it or anything, but when our mascot and the duck got in a fight, y'all can look it up. So that happened at that game, but this is Case's first start in Oregon, and he went toe to toe with them because they were like number 10 or something in the country at the time. We lost that game, but it was that game was like, oh no, it's this kid. This is the one. He's the one, and he proved it. For the years afterwards, we got to see him, and I got to see him break records. I got to see him beat Texas Tech on that scramble, back at the Rob. It coincided with a time where like the university was finally kind of getting some respect back, and we were filling up the place. It was an exciting time to be a Houston Cougar fan, and he is a big part of that. And so being there for all of that just kind of made me root for him harder. And then so we were very, and I say we, like all my friends who were Cougar alumni, very invested in his career after that. And we've watched him at every single place that he's been. It was very exciting when he was on the Texans, and I'll never forget that Sunday night football game against the Colts. Ended up losing, but because so Case played so well in that first half.
I remember watching that game.
So he played so well in that first half, it gave Gary Kubiak a heart attack, like legitimately. And so, because Gary Kubiak had a heart attack at that game at halftime, and so and so that's part of the reason why they lost, because the team was like, "Holy crap! How do you respond? Like how do you respond after that? If like your head coach has a heart attack at halftime, like that's nuts."
Yeah.
But I'm somewhat facetious when I refer to him as the goat to people. I get a lot of laughs from a lot of people. It's like Case Keenum, but I was never wrong about him having a place in the NFL, right? Like because even if his role right now is backup quarterback, there are like, yeah, they're the starters, but he's better than a lot of those backups, like in a lot of different places, and in a lot of places better than starters, especially some of these people on bad teams. Like they would kill to have Case Keenum as their starter. And luckily for me, as a fan of his, I've got to see a lot of his successes, and he's part of like he will never not be able to say that he's a part of NFL history because of what happened with Minnesota, right? And so being able to pull that off, that pass to Diggs, to win that game, and all the images and everything that comes from that, like he will forever have a place in NFL history for that. They will play that highlight forever, and it will be on NFL films forever. That thing, and he'll be an answer to a trivia question, and I love that for him.
Yeah, that was such a fun year to be a Vikings fan, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
He almost went to
because
the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah,
like man, like I know myself. It's probably for the best that he did not go because I was going to be very annoying if Case Keenum went to a Super Bowl and won one. Like, so
Well, and fun fact, that Super Bowl was actually in Minnesota,
I know,
so it would have
I
been
know,
a home
y'all could have
Super
had a home.
Bowl.
Yeah, it could have been a home Super Bowl. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
But and for the first drive of that NFC Championship game against the
hmm
Eagles, he throws a touchdown pass to Kyle
Yep.
Rudolph, opening drive,
Yep.
and we're like, all right, we're like, we've got this. Like,
Yep.
here we go, you know?
Yep.
And the rest of the game was really, really painful to watch.
It was, yeah. It's the funny
But
thing is I was living in Philadelphia at the time, and a lot of my Philly friends were giving me a lot of crap because I was talking a lot of crap because I was like, "Look, y'all are playing the goat." Like because they knew I was from Houston, they knew I love Case, and so it was this interesting situation where I'm rooting hard for Case in a city in Philadelphia of all places to be rooting against the Eagles
uh-huh.
at the time. So
Yeah.
it was a very fun watch, and of course they were scared. And like after that first touchdown, like when he went down there, they were like, "Oh," because they were probably thinking, "Oh, Nance's probably right about this guy." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was funny because I remember I think Eagles played the Falcons the week before, and that
hmm
game was really close. And I think it
it
came
was."
down like right to the end of the game, and they had like a
hmm
like a defensive stop
Yeah,
like inside the
Fletcher
red
Cox.
zone.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that could have been a very, very different wow, it would have actually been a rematch, the Falcons and Vikings NFC
98.
Championship game. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of 98.
Would have been a
And I
rematch.
think the Vikings would have definitely won that
That one, yes,
matchup.
that matchup,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Philadelphia was just, if you look at that team, that was probably the most stacked team ever.
It was.
If
It's
you
kind
if
of
you look
nuts.
at it, you know,
It was kind of nuts. The only thing that they weren't stacked at was quarterback because you have to remember like they put all their eggs in the Carson Wentz basket. And it's kind of crazy to see like you think about that now and like he's out of the league basically. And so but like it was Nick Foles that brought him home.
yeah. And you know what? To his credit, I mean, he was unstoppable.
He was
You know, I
good
mean,
for him.
he played so poorly during the regular season, like filling in for Wentz,
Yes.
and everyone's like, "Oh man, the Eagles are gonna be one and done. They're gonna be one and
hmm
done." And then you look what he did, and even in the Super Bowl, he was just incredible.
He was lights
You
out.
know, yeah. And then I know he's kind of had a roller coaster career too, which is kind of
Yeah. But he has,
interesting. But
again, kind of like with Case in those moments, he has those moments, but bigger ones. He has the Super Bowl. He beat Brady.
yeah, yeah, how many people could say that?
Eli
Only
Manning.
Eli Manning. Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Eli.
Just Eli.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible.